Let me tell you something, Pack Nation. Brian Gutekunst. Brian Gutekunst. I want to talk about accountability today, about a man who looked this entire fan base in the eye, traded away first-round picks like he was running a clearance sale out of Lambeau Field, and now expects me, to grade him on a curve because of it. No, absolutely not. That is not how this works, brother. Nobody twisted your arm, Brian. Nobody held a gun to your head. That was your call. You walked up to that table, looked at those first-round selections, and decided, you know what? I do not need these. I will wheel and deal. I will outsmart everybody in the room. And fine, maybe some of those moves look smart at the time. Maybe. I will give you that much and not a single inch more. But here is the deal. You do not get to cash those chips in however you want and then come back asking Pack Nation for patience when the draft board looks like the leftovers at a church potluck. Cold, dry, nothing anybody actually wanted. You made those decisions, Brian. Every single one. Own the results like a man. And I already know. I know what some knucklehead is going to say in the comments. Sal, he did not have a first rounder. What do you expect? I expect results. That is what I expect. You are a professional general manager in the National Football League. You are paid, very well paid, to find football talent. The round it comes from is your problem, not mine. You made the bed, sleep in it. This reminds me of my neighbor, Gary Pletcher. Gary runs a snow removal business right here in Peshtigo. Good guy, hard worker, dependable. Every winter, Gary has got his whole operation dialed in. His clients, his routes, his equipment lined up and ready to roll before the first flake hits the ground. Now, one winter, Gary gets a big idea. He decides to sell off 2 of his best snowblowers, get some cash up front, thinks he's being real shrewd about the whole thing. Fine. His call, his business. Nobody told him to do it. But then March comes along, and we get that big dump. You remember that one. 3 feet overnight. Just absolutely buried everything in sight. And Gary shows up to his accounts with one machine, a beat-up shovel, and what I can only describe as misplaced competence. You know what his client said? They did not care why Gary only had one snowblower. Not one of them graded him on a curve because he was the one who chose to sell the others. All they knew was their parking lot was full of snow and Gary was not getting it done. 2 of those clients went with somebody else the following winter. No dramatic blow-up, no long speech, just, you had a job, Gary. You made your choices. Now we are making ours. That is it. That is the whole story. That is Brian Gutekunst right now. That is exactly what this is. Pack Nation, I am not asking this man to pull Patrick Mahomes out of thin air. I am not asking for a Hall of Famer in round 4 every single April. I am asking a professional general manager, a man who is paid to evaluate football talent for a living, to give this fan base draft classes that make us feel something. Something other than confusion. Something other than, well, maybe he develops in year 3. Year 3? I do not have until year 3. My patience does not extend to year 3. I have an 11-year-old daughter who walked in last week and asked me why I was yelling at the television during the draft. Not a game, the draft. Nobody is even getting tackled yet. I had to explain to her that Daddy gets emotional about roster construction decisions. She just stared at me, did not blink, did not say a word, just stared at me the exact same way my wife stares at me when I come home from the grocery store with every wrong item on the entire list. That look, you know the one. I am a grown man in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, losing sleep over a general manager's draft philosophy. And I am not even embarrassed about it. Because here is the thing, Brian. The last few classes have been thin. I will say it plainly and own every word. Rotational guys, projects, late-round dice rolls that did not connect. And I understand, I genuinely do, that the draft is not a perfect science. Every team misses. Every front office has its whiffs. You are not going to nail every single pick. I get that. But here is what is eating me alive right now. When you, of your own free will, remove yourself from the top of the board, you have placed every single ounce of pressure onto rounds 2 through 7. Every ounce. Each pick has to work harder, hit faster, contribute sooner. There is no margin for error when you have already given away the margin. And brother, the margin has not been there. Stay right there, Pack Nation. We are just getting warmed up.
You know what gets me the most? You know what really drives me up the wall? It is the confidence. The way this front office talks about their process, like they have some proprietary formula that nobody else in the NFL has figured out. Like they are sitting on a secret nobody else can crack. Brother, I have seen the results of that secret formula. I have eaten at that restaurant more than once. The food was fine, not great, not special, fine. And fine does not win championships in January. Fine gets you bounced in the first round and sitting at home watching other teams play meaningful football while you are already thinking about free agency. I did not sign up the fine, Brian. None of us did. Now, I want to be fair. I am always fair on this show. You know that about me. Goody has done some good things. He found Jordan Love when nobody believed in that pick. He rebuilt this offensive line into something respectable, something I can actually watch without flinching on every snap. He has made the right call on some contracts. I will say all of that right here out loud on this podcast. Credit where it is due. You are welcome, Brian. But that does not give you a lifetime pass. Good general managers are good every year, not every other year. Not, well, he nailed this one, so let's forget what the last couple of classes look like. You do not get to coast on your highlight reel in this league. Every team in this conference is improving their roster, and some idiot is out here asking me to grade on a curve. No, partial credit is for sophomore algebra class. This is the NFL. And listen, I need Pack Nation to understand what now or never actually means, because I do not think everybody is feeling the urgency the way I am feeling it at this kitchen table. Jordan Love is not going to be on a cheap contract forever. This window, the window Goody told us was coming, the one we have been patient for, the one we sat through all the transition for, it is here. It is open right now. And you know what closes a window faster than anything? Thin rosters, underdeveloped depth, guys in their second and third year who still have not figured out the speed of this game. That is what kills you when January rolls around and every game is sudden death. I need Goody to walk into that draft room this April and come out with young talent that makes Pack Nation say, okay, now I see it. Not in a give it time kind of way. In a this kid is already a problem for opposing offenses kind of way. Guys who make the 53-man roster and stay there. Guys who contribute in year one. Not year 3, not if everything breaks right and nobody gets hurt and the position coach figures out how to use them. Year 1, Brian. Am I crazy? Somebody tell me if I am crazy. Because if we get another class of projects and maybes and potential havers, I am done extending the benefit of the doubt. Done. I will say it right here and mean every single syllable. You chose this path. You gave those picks away. So every selection you have left now has to count double. You understand me? Double. You do not have a first-round swing to bail you out anymore. You gave that away yourself. So every jabroni you pass on in round 2, every clown you reach for in round 3, every pick you waste, that is on you. No curve, no context, no explanations. Results. I am not a mean person. I genuinely do not want to see Goody fail. I want the Packers to win. I want my daughter to grow up watching this team hoist another Lombardi. I want my wife to stop giving me that look every April when draft weekend starts because she is already bracing herself for what comes out of my mouth. I want to be happy, Brian, but you have to give me something to be happy about. So here is where we stand. No more outs. No more excuses about draft position. No more we were addressing other areas of the roster. You go into that room this April and you find us players, young ones, real ones, guys who bleed green and gold and make this defense scary and this offense dangerous and this fan base excited again. Or Pack Nation starts asking some very serious questions about who should be making these decisions. It is now or never, Goody. Now or never. All right, Pack Nation, you know I love you. Every word of this comes straight from the heart. Subscribe to the show wherever you listen. Leave us a review. It matters more than you know. Tell a friend about Packernet. And Brian Gutekunst, if you are somehow listening to this right now, go find us some players, man. Go find us some players.